Welcome to the Million Pound Mission Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Shively, the PhD, the previously heavy dude, and I'm on a 1 million pound mission. Now, I've personally lost over 100 pounds, and I've applied what I've learned from my own transformation journey to help my hometown clients lose over 35,000 pounds in just 5 years. Now I'm on a mission to produce over 1 million pounds of results by delivering my best weekly tips, motivation, inspirational stories, and transformation strategies so that you can gain clarity about what you need to do to reach your goals and give you the confidence to take action. The perfect time to start taking action is right now. So let's do this. All right, my friends, what is up out there in podcast land? It's your buddy Adam. Welcome to another episode of the Million Pound Mission. This is episode 61, the difference between motivation and inspiration. I am psyched to dive into that with you here real quick. But first, we are going to do my iTunes review of the week. It is my duty to help make you podcast famous. So my podcast famous person this week is Don Hutchison. I appreciate you leaving a review. And here's what he has to say. I just enjoyed Adam's episode number 59, in which he articulates his vision, mission, and strategy for the next few years for his million-pound mission. Utterly inspiring and doable, given his long record of personal and professional experience losing 100 pounds himself a while back, and then helping clients in his community lose over 35,000 pounds in a handful of years. Keep up the great work, Adam. The world needs you. Don, I greatly appreciate you supporting the Million Pound Mission by leaving a review and a rating on iTunes. And now you are podcast famous, my friend. Now, speaking of supporting the mission, that is my big ask this week. All right. You can best support the Million Pound Mission, this show, myself, my efforts, my time and energy I'm putting into this. You can best support the mission by leaving a review on iTunes for this episode. I'm going to light it up. All right, I'm psyched about this topic, and I want to know what you think about it. So hop on iTunes, leave me a rating, leave me a review. If you aren't sure how to do that, I will post a video with detailed instruction on how to do that in my blog, transformationcoach.me/blog, and in the show notes for this episode. Now, something I've been doing the last couple of weeks, what is it? The PhD is going to give you something for free. So this week, the PhD, that's me, the previously heavy dude. If you didn't know that already, I'm going to hook you up with something for free. Each week I like to create tools and systems and programs, and worst salesman ever, I like to give it away for free. All right, so we're creeping up on the holiday season at the time of this recording. I'm recording this on November 1st, 2017, and we're creeping up on the holiday season. It's really important to get your game plan together. So I'm giving you my battle plan workbook for free. This is a 28-day workbook that's going to help you analyze your danger zones, map out your exercise, your nutrition, your recovery, the workouts, all of that. It shows you how to use my cheat bank strategy so that you can take control of the situations where you go off plan, and it helps get your mind in a positive growth mode every day. And then you celebrate some wins and celebrate your progress that you make each week. So it's a free download. I'll put it in the show notes. I'll put it in the blog, the Battle Plan Workbook. All right. So like I said in the very beginning of the intro, this is episode 61. We are getting up there, my friends. The difference between motivation and inspiration. All right. So a couple of weeks ago, I had an opportunity to do a speaking engagement, and I was really nervous. I was like, this may be the toughest gig I've ever done, all right? And that's because it was for my son's first grade class. And I'm like, if I can keep the attention of 15 first graders, like 6 and 7-year-olds for 30 minutes, then I'm getting pretty good. So I'm like, I'm bringing it. My goal is to fully and thoroughly entertain and amuse these children and keep them engaged the entire time. That was my mission for the day. So I had been thinking up some notes for this episode. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to drop these on these kids, and we're going to talk about these topics. And I bet you they understand it just as good as the adults will. Maybe even better. Who knows? So I went in there talking about my 3 rules for having an awesome day. And the 3 rules, we're not going to go in depth on each one of these. That's not what this podcast show is about. But my rules, at the end of the day, I reflect back and I say, okay, rule number 1, did I learn something? Did I learn something? Did I learn a lesson? Did I learn something new? Did I acquire knowledge and improve myself through learning? Second rule for having an awesome day is show love. So did I show somebody that I love them? Did I tell somebody that I love them? Did I physically embrace my children, my wife? Did I show my clients, the people I'm working with, did I show them energy and passion that I care about them? All right, that's my second rule. My third rule is to experience inspiration. And, be inspired or inspire someone else and feel that every day. So if I do those 3 things every day, it's an awesome day. I learn something new, I show love, and I experience inspiration. Those are my rules. You can make up your own rules. But that last one led to a conversation with these kids. They started asking about the difference between motivation and inspiration. And we dove into that for most of the time. And it went really well. So I was like, okay, this is a winner topic for the podcast for sure. So let's focus on that. Because the difference between motivation and inspiration may be the difference that is the game changer for you. As you know, I like to dive in and really focus on things that will make an impact with you. There's plenty of podcasts out there with like the best exercises to make your arms rocking for spring break and all that stuff. And those are all good. I'm not knocking that at all. It's just not my thing. I feel like if we don't have the fundamentals in place, then none of that other stuff matters. So this is a fundamental concept, podcast listeners. So dial up those earbuds, make sure the volume's up, and get ready. You may have to listen to this one a couple of times, all right, because I'm going to dive deep on this. So the difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivation is more about having to, the have to. All right, so with the kids, I explained it like this. I said, kids, you might get a homework assignment from your teacher, Mrs. Oliveira, shout out, Mrs. Oliveira, first grade. And you might get a homework assignment of reading a book by the end of the week. You feel motivated because you have to. That's your teacher. She has placed that external have to on you. All right? Or as adults, what happens when we're talking about fitness is we get that outside pressure to lose weight. Our doctors, our peers, our family, they express concern, or you get some tests back and you're like, okay, this is motivating because my doctor's going to put me on all this medicine for blood pressure because I'm not eating right and I'm 50 pounds overweight. So the have to is there. You're motivated to take action. And that's cool. That's an important part of the process. I'm not saying being motivated is bad. It's an external thing. All right, so inspiration is about wanting to. So you move from have to wanting to. You want it. All right? You have that fire inside of you. So with the kids, I said, all right, the motivation is Mrs. Oliveira assigns a homework assignment. You read the book by the end of the week. You have to do that. That's your teacher. You want to please her. You get it done. Inspiration is you go to a library. You find a book on dinosaurs. You love dinosaurs. You love learning about dinosaurs. It just fires you up. You get excited every time you read a book about dinosaurs. That's inspiration. You want to read that book, and you will do that whether anybody tells you to do that or not. That's inspiration. With adults, it's about, with weight loss, with body transformation, with getting healthy, it's about finding that strong why behind your fitness goal that's going to get you out of bed for your workout. If you are one of those early morning workout people, even if you're not, maybe you need to be. If you aren't getting your workouts done, maybe you're motivated, maybe your doctor's telling you to do something, and you have to do something, but you don't have that fire inside yet. You don't have that fire to inspire. You don't have that burning need, that not just a want, but you really feel it in your soul. It's even another level where you're like, this is going to happen. I want it, so I'm going to make it happen. All right, that is the difference between being motivated and being inspired. Now, where this could really be a huge game changer, and I'm starting to kind of unravel this concept, it may be a whole other podcast episode, is in the topic of re-losing weight. I feel like the difference between motivation and inspiration plays a huge role in where people get stuck in the area of re-losing weight. So let me explain it to you. So people start off, they get some initial motivation. They eventually become inspired to lose weight. So I've helped a lot of people lose over 100 pounds. All right. Not all of them have kept it off. That's something I'm honest about. I used to take that very hard, but then I realized that as long as I do everything I can do, there's still, the people still have to come to play. They have to keep raising their hand saying, I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm present, I'm coachable. So it still stings when people regain weight, but not like it used to. All right, because I'm understanding this concept a lot better. So people start off, they get inspired, they lose weight. Let's say their goal is 100-pound weight loss. They hit that goal. You go through, you are inspired, you are showing up, you are working out, you're meal prepping like it's nobody's business. You are, cool through the holidays. You can go out and eat with people, and you're like, don't bother me, man. I'm eating my salad. Step off. If you're going to be peer pressure me to eat the cake or drink beer, you have all that willpower. You're good to go. All right, but then you hit your goal. You are that 100-pound weight loss person. All right, I've been that person. I am that person. And if we don't set a new goal, we probably aren't going to stay inspired, right? And, we have to keep that fire stoked. So I've talked about this before with my transformation timeline, where that third phase is new purpose, new identity. If you don't start establishing that non-scale goal, because eventually you run out of weight to lose, right, my friends? You can lose the body fat, lose the weight. Okay, now what? Are you still inspired? If you aren't, guess what's going to happen? Regain. The regain happens. So in this example, let's say you've hit your goal, you've lost your 100 pounds, you don't have that next level goal, that next level of inspiration, and you start to regain your weight. So then what happens? You start to, your joints start to hurt again. Your clothes aren't fitting as good. You start noticing the mirror. You kind of feel that peer pressure of other people are starting to notice that you're regaining your weight. You kind of feel that I told you so, I knew you wouldn't stick with it from your peers, your friends, your family, probably. And then it becomes more about the motivation. That external motivation happens again. This is all about all this external peer pressure that you're feeling, and it becomes more of a have to. Okay, I've got to get serious. I have to re-lose this weight. And people always come to me in these situations like, why is it so damn much harder to lose this weight the second time or the third time or the 12th time or whatever? And why is it so hard to do this? It wasn't this hard before. And the difference is between being motivated and being inspired. Off that first, off the jump, you were inspired. It was about you. It was about wanting it. And then it became about others. It became about having to, I've regained this 20 pounds. I've got to get it off. I have to because, my trainer is looking at me different. Or I feel pressure from others. And it's not about you anymore. All right? So that's why it's so much harder. And you aren't inspired at all, or you aren't inspired in the same way, and it becomes just about pressure, and your mindset has totally gone through a shift. So what do we do? What do we do in this situation, my friends? What has the PhD got for you here? Well, I've got a few questions that I want you to go through. I really want you to think about this, especially if you're in that fitness rut, especially if you've lost weight and you are regaining, or you are kind of just stuck in the middle of like that. A lot of people I see have that like 10, 20 pound zone where they swing back and forth and they beat themselves up over it. And it's really hard on your body to do that, but you aren't making progress to that next thing, that next goal, that next level. Maybe you've lost 100 pounds, but you need to lose another 100 because we're still not healthy or whatever. And so it's time to ask ourselves some questions. That's what I'm getting at here. First question. First statement. This isn't a question. My bad. Just a statement. You have to light the fire and become inspired. All right. That is the purpose of these questions. First question. What initially inspired you to get started? Like, what was that thing that lit you up in the first place? Revisit that. Spend some time. What I'd recommend is just sitting and thinking on that and journal on it. Write a page. Type it up. Put it in your phone. I don't care. Audio record it. Just talk or think or write on what inspired you initially? What initially lit you up and was like, I'm doing this. No matter what happens, I'm getting it done. And what was that? So revisit that. What initially inspired you to get started? Second question, why isn't that working anymore? Tough question. Tough question for me to ask you and for you to ask yourself, my friends. Why isn't that working anymore? Why did that stop working? Did you stop working it? Or did you achieve your goal? You know, there's two different situations here. Did you achieve your goal and just you didn't continue on? You didn't find that next reason to be inspired? And that's on you, my friends. That is on you. All right. You can ask for help. You can ask about setting goals, but I can't tell you, oh, well, your next goal should be able to do a bodyweight pull-up, because that's me motivating you. That's not me inspiring you. That's me giving you that external goal, that putting that pressure of what I think you should be able to do. But that's not about you. If that doesn't light you up, if you're not feeling empowered and energized by that, then that's not going to cut it. See what I'm saying? People do that to me a lot too. And I don't mind it. I can motivate you. I can throw all kinds of different goals out there. But if it doesn't light you up, if it doesn't light that fire inside of you, it's probably not going to take you to that next level, right? Think on it. Think on it. Why isn't that goal, that initial inspiration, why isn't that working anymore? Did it stop working for you? Did you not really give it all of the effort that it needed? Did you quit? You know, why isn't that working for you anymore? Third question, very important. So if we're kind of retooling that inspiration, what's going to make the effort worth it? What kind of a goal is going to inspire you enough to be like, you know what? The work I'm putting in for this, it's worth it. What I got to go through to get there, it's worth it. Let that sink in. What will make the effort worth it? Again, if you don't think on this, you're just out there trying. You're just out there doing, but not accomplishing, right? Trying and doing are way different than accomplishing and making progress, right? A lot of people just tell themselves, oh, we're trying hard right now, but you know what? It's just not happening. It's the holiday season. It's just tough. A lot of tough stuff going on. Guess what? Everybody's life is tough. My life is tough. Your life is tough. That we deal with curveballs, every one of us. All right, but some of us are handling these kinds of questions differently. We're thinking about them, and we're trying to get better. We're trying to improve. Some of us are sitting inside of our comfort zones, nice and comfy. It's nice and warm in there, but you know what that comfort zone does? It starts to slide backwards. And you're so comfortable, but you know we're putting weight back on. We're losing some of that strength. We're losing that initial inspiration and desire to get the job done. All right, so I'm going to re-emphasize those questions. Number one, what initially inspired you to get started? Number two, why isn't that working anymore? And number three, what's going to make all of the effort worth it for you? Very important. Now, I'm going to give you one more example, and this is going to hit home for some of you in a big way. All right? The example is with my fitness studio, with client chase downs. This doesn't happen quite so much with my online clients because they're very plugged in and attached to me and my coaching, and so it's kind of naturally built in. But what happens in my fitness studio is, you know, clients will get motivated. Their doctors are telling them to lose weight, and that initial inspiration eventually happens, and they're showing up for classes, they're losing weight, and then, you know, the life happens moment happens, and they kind of fade out. And I used to spend an obscene amount of time chasing these people down. Like, you got to do this, man. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Get back in here. Go, go, go. And I just put so much energy into them, into that, and we'd get them back in for like a day. Like, I'm in it. Here we go. Let's do this. It's my time. And maybe they'll show up for a workout. Maybe they'll no-show it. But it was just like pulling teeth because I am trying to get these people inspired, and it's got to come within them. It's got to come from within you. So I quit doing it. I'm like, okay, I've got a certain amount of people that are walking through my door in my gym, raising their hand and saying, let's do this. Damn it, Adam, let's do this. I'm here. I'm not only motivated, I am inspired. I have to do this, but I want this for me. I'm here. I raise my hand. Pay attention to me. Let's lock arms. Let's do this. Same thing happens with my online clients. Same exact thing. All right. You show up inspired. You raise your hand and say, I'm in. Let's do this. Those are the people that I focus on. Because I have enough of those people where I can make a difference, right? So if I spend half my time trying to chase down people that are halfway motivated and trying to inspire them, I realize that just doesn't work. It's not a good use of my time. It's not a good use of my resources, my energy. All right. So I just look for the people that show up. And eventually, some of those people that, they go, man, I haven't heard from Adam in a while. It goes two ways. They go down to Haterville. We're like, he doesn't care. He doesn't come. They want to be chased a little bit. And that's not how I operate. I've never, you can ask any of the ladies that I dated growing up, like that doesn't happen. All right. I don't chase relationships. I move on to the next thing that makes sense. So when I used to get dumped in school growing up, I'd be like, all right, that is done. And now we move forward to the next relationship. Let's see what prospects or possibilities are out there. All right. And the same thing with the fitness clients, whether it's online, whether it's in person, it's all part of the $1 Million Pound Mission. Same, objective. I got to find people that raise their hand and say, I'm in. I want this. Let's do this. Right? So that's what I'm all about. That is what I'm all about, my friends. And you just have to make sure that you are one of those people, that you're showing up, raising your hand, and saying, I'm in. I'm coachable. I'm inspired. Let's meet your energy with my energy, and let's do this. Right? Okay. So that is good for today. That's a lot of heavy stuff. We really dove in deep. I'm really excited about this. I think we're going to peel back more layers on this eventually. But if you're somebody that especially is in that situation where you're kind of just treading water, your wheels are spinning a little bit, or you're going in the wrong direction after you've made some initial progress, this is very important. You need to probably listen to this episode again. You need to answer those 3 questions honestly and openly. Get it in your journal. Maybe talk to somebody else about it. Talk to me about it. But it's so crucial. And I get so excited when I meet somebody that's inspired. One last example. I was doing a coaching call this week with one of my new clients in my Transformed Academy. And they get a monthly coaching call. And I'm meeting some new people because we just launched the academy. So shout out to my friend Lynn. We had a great conversation. And she opened up. And talk about being inspired. She's lost not only her mom, but 3 brothers to a genetic lung condition. All right. And they're dying because of this. And she sees it kind of just tracking her down that family tree. And you talk about inspiration. Like, the motivation is there for sure. She has to, but man, she wants this. She wants this. And me talking to her, I just got fired up. Like, I had a hard time sleeping that night because I was so excited to be able to connect with somebody like that has what it takes. Because that's all it takes is that inspiration. I've got the plan. I can steer you in the right direction, but you plug an inspired person into what I can deliver with things like the Transformed Academy, it's magic. It's magic. And that's when we just kick serious ass, my friends, and we get the job done. So that's what we're looking to do. Make sure you dive into those questions. Make sure you think about, am I motivated or am I inspired right now? Right now. All right. So that is it for this week, my friends. As always, I want you to get out there. I want you to own it. Every meal, every workout, every day. And by gosh, be inspired. We'll see you on the next episode. One last thing before I let you go today. So many of you have been contacting me about taking action. Where's the best place to start? What program should I be on? So I went into the Transformation Lab and I created something new. It's my Transformed Academy, and registration is officially and finally open. All right, I'm loading up all my best workout protocols, all the follow-along workouts that you love, and developing more every month. I'm loading up all my best nutrition programs of all types. As I talk about, you need the right tool for the job, whether that's paleo, low carb, high carb, carb cycling, clean eating, keto, whatever. We've got the right tool, and we're going to teach you how to use that tool. Then we also have accountability groups, coaching calls with me, and so much more. The best part is the information never gets stale because I add new programs every 90 days. And the even better part, you're going to freak out when you see the price. Head on over to www.transformationcoach.me and check out the Transformed Academy.